Hey everybody, welcome back. All right, so today we're going to go on a little trip, and here we go. So this is a local place that I go to once in a while. Wouldn't we all love to have those cabinets there? They're so awesome. So they use those for displaying some jewelry that they sell. So this is a place that has a lot of antiques, a lot of vintage, kind of just randomness that they're pickers. They go out and do they pick from, I'm sure, estate sales, garage sales, wherever. But there's just a plethora of things to look at. I mean, you could spend hours and hours in this place easily. And you'll see that soon as I show you more of the store. So here I had just kind of walked in. It's kind of towards the entrance. There was another little tobacco box. They wanted $19 for that, so I quickly put it back. And here I noticed there was a box of old wood stamps. So I was just kind of looking through there to see if there was anything interesting I wanted. But even these, I think they were priced at like $3 a piece. So some of this stuff is overpriced, and they need to make a living too. So, and they're expecting you to kind of haggle on the price a little bit. So kind of got to keep that in mind when you go to places like this. But it's a great place to go and just get ideas, and every time I go, I spend more than I want to spend. But more importantly, I come away with some really cool things. So it just kind of goes on and on and on. As you can see, there's just stack upon pile upon everything. There's all kinds of stuff just everywhere. And right here, I totally just walked right into a little table. So this was really cool to me. I was trying to find a price on it because I was interested in buying it, but I didn't see a price anywhere, and I kind of just, I guess, gave up. But I love the color of it, and then that pendant's really cool. So I've bought stuff like that before, but don't actually have anything right now. So anyway, kind of just wandering through. This is more like the collectibles area. Okay, so now we're in, and I did slow this down because the owner or the keeper was, I think, following me around, and I didn't ask permission to shoot inside here. I could have. He was an older gentleman, and I knew he wouldn't really understand it. But so yeah, like the building is so awesome. That brick is authentic. This is just like a quarter of the entire place. So when I say you can come here and look forever and ever, I'm not kidding. Here's the book section. There's so many books. Like there's even more rows than what I just showed you. But books, old newspapers, all kinds of cool stuff. So let's get into my haul. Okay, so let's take a look at what I picked up in that wonderful store. As you can see, I did find a few things. So let me just reorganize this, and I guess let's start from smallest to biggest. I'll move that stuff back there. All right, so ended up with two of these. They're just bird books, Birds of America books. Let's see, copyright 1931. Wow, I didn't realize they were that old. I was thinking they were newer. The images are pretty great. So, well, some of them are kind of blurry, but that's all right. Maybe that's the way that they printed, their printing techniques back then. But I just kind of fell in love with these. She originally wanted $2 a piece for these, and I said, well, okay, give me just one of them. And then as we were settling at the end, she kind of just quoted me a number. That's also 1931. She quoted me a number for all of it, and I said, yeah, that'll work. So I ended up getting everything I had picked out. I did spend more than I had wanted to. But going into a store like that, you kind of saw some of those prices for things. It's kind of a little bit more than, so anyway. There was a red bird in here that I wanted. Oh, it was a cardinal. So yeah, some of the prices were a little bit higher than I would normally spend at, you know, the Goodwill or garage sale, obviously. I mean, they need to make some money too, so I figure I go in there for a reason, and I know that I'll find some good stuff. So it's never a problem for me to spend a little bit more, knowing that. So some things will be more expensive than, okay, so this is the children's book on how to use books in libraries, which at first, when I first picked it up, I didn't really think I'd be too interested in this because, to be honest, I already have quite a few little old children's books. I don't know why. Maybe I'm gravitating towards them, or they're just easier to find. Ooh, this one's full of yummy old insects even too. Or maybe there's just more of them around. I don't know, but let's see. It looks like copyright 1937, but then it's stamped 1938. So, because of what we're making, which is junk journals, I have a feeling a lot of people really enjoy reading and just reading and writing in general. I mean, that's kind of one of the reasons we're all interested in what we do. So, plus, as you can see, this has some really cute illustrations in through it, and then the feel of the pages is really unique. It's really smooth. It's a little bit thicker than, I don't know if it's thicker. It's not super oh my gosh. There's even this in the back. I didn't even realize. Oh, I love that. Oh, I love it. It's awesome. Okay. This might be the first one that actually has one of these library cards in it. Sorry, geeking out a little bit here. So this is last checked out May 1975, I think. These don't have, there's no year on this, so I guess we'll just have to go by this. And it looks like this came from California, so that's kind of cool. For those of you who are too young to remember, before the age of computers, this is what we did to go find a book in the library. There was a card for each book lined up in what is called a card catalog, and that's that little chest of drawers that everybody is so eager to find these days so that they can use them for their craft rooms. It kind of looks like this. And then you would get, this is called the Dewey Decimal System, and you would get the information that's where the book was located in the library, and you would have to remember what the information was or write it down on a piece of paper. Go find your book, and most of the time it was there. Sometimes it wasn't, and that's where librarians always came in very helpful. So this is a fun little book. So whenever you see a book that has funny numbers and letters on the spine, usually on a little sticker right about there, that's what that was for. Back in the day. Okay, so I also picked up this one. So maybe let me pick up my, so you can see just a little bit better. There we go. Hopefully this won't mess up the shot too much. So this is Pleasant Times Storybook, and it's falling apart. Absolutely love. I actually have another one of these, not the same exact thing, but one that's very similar. Sorry, I'm working around. I'm actually in the middle of a project, And that's kind of overtaking my desk at the moment, so I'm trying to work around that. But this, as you can tell, is very old and was very loved. From what I can tell from my other one that I have, they didn't use the best papers, which I think is why they turned so brown. It's hard to explain. But my other one is very much like this. It's falling apart as well. Not quite as much as this one. I was kind of trying to find a date on here somewhere, but Miss Little Elsie Smith owned this. Pop out at you. This one's obviously not nearly as old as the last one. This looks like 40s, maybe 50s. Let's see, 61. So not even that. But $3 they wanted for this one, and that actually is more than I ever would pay. But again, you know, you go into a place like that and you're kind of expecting to pay a little bit more. So the reason I picked this one up was it's just chock full of really interesting images, and I just really love books and papers like this. Just random. And again, I won't feel bad at all about tearing this one apart, you know. So there's going to be lots of fun ephemera and fun journal pages from this. What is she doing? Smelling her armpit? Anyway, there's probably some not so nice images in here too, but although these are for advertisements, so maybe not too bad. But well, that was an interesting one. So there's that. And then this one, she was asking $8 for this. No, sorry, $15 for this. And my reaction was, what? Are you kidding me? No. I said no. I don't want that one then, if that's the case. It's way more than I would have paid for it. And so then you can see she marked it down to $5, which even then, that's still too much for this, but it's around 1928, I guess, is the time frame. Oh, and this one, it's upside down. So there's that. It's really cute. I'm gonna have to do some kids books soon. And then this actually was all together as one, but then she tried to make it as two things. So I don't remember what she was trying to tell me she wanted. I think 25 bucks, and I was like, no. No way would I ever spend $25 for this. I think she kind of ended up going down to 12 at one point, and then even then I was like, no way. I'm not paying $12 for that. So this one got lumped into the end where she kind of quoted me a price. So this is pretty freaking cool. It's a ledger, obviously, and it's the Farm Business Record Book from First National Bank in Dayton, Iowa. And it looks like I've got one for 1950 and one for 1951. I don't know how well you can see that there. 1950, 1951. And then it looks like there's a name here that I can't read. something Hoyer. But this is, it's very John Deere colors, isn't it? So there's those at the front. Any one of you who works in banks might be able to better recognize something like this. I've never seen anything quite like this before, but then it's not something I would normally be around, I suppose. Okay, so this is from Fort Dodge, Iowa, and it's from 1949. And then 51 and 52. So it looks like this grocery and back of book. So this is just really interesting. There's even old receipts in here. But another ledger. Some pages are not used, which will be good. Some of them are filled in with pencil, which is too bad, because at some point, oh, this is even dated back to 1948, so this is actually even a little bit older. Because pencil will eventually disappear, which is, you know, it's a shame, but maybe we can preserve it in some way in our journal making. So there's that. And then also inside there's okay, so this looks like another cover. Yes, so this looks like maybe another cover of a ledger that is no longer a part of this. Oh wait, maybe that is supposed to be around this. But this is also a cover. Anyway, there's this. Well, maybe it is. Maybe some of the pages from that other one were in here. And then, so then, yeah, it just kind of keeps going. And then this one, I think is just the ledger. Oh, wow. There's some receipts in here. Some notes. Palm Grove Co-op. So they spent $207.45. And then we have, whoop, come back. And then we have this, which looks like a check with a lot of calculations on it. My goodness, these are fun. It's too bad they're not older, because can't turn these into ephemera for everyone, but someone somewhere out there will end up with this in their stash at some point. So, oh, maybe this was for the other cover. Let's see. Yeah, these are dated 1948. So, yeah, so it looks like that kind of just got dispersed a little bit around. So, 2 ledgers, which was a lot of fun. And then this book, which is The Technique of Pastel. Sorry about that, I had to stop for a second. So, yeah, so this is the Technique of Pastel Painting book. And I like the cover, it's really a nice color. And like I said, she originally wanted $8 for this one, and I said, no, I'm not paying that much for this. And this was the other one that I don't know exactly how much I paid. I could do the math, but even $5 I feel like was pretty okay, because it's full of these plates. Like literally every page has plates on them of just different stages of drawings, and yeah, I mean, it's just basically teaching how to draw with pastels. So thought this was a really interesting book. I normally wouldn't have picked anything like this up, but I feel like I can take these off easily enough, and then This just folded in half would make a great journal page. Just would need to cover this side of it up. But yeah, so there's that. They had quite a lot of art books, I thought. So they're not in the perfect shape. There's some warping going on, but I don't know, I just really enjoyed this book. I thought it was worth kind of spending a little bit more money. It's different. It's not something I would probably run into very often. So yeah, there's some landscapes and probably some portraits somewhere in here. So yeah, that book was fun. Maybe just landscapes, I don't know. Oh yeah, some portraits. So yep, so there's that book. And then last but certainly not least, I found this, which is, I don't know how well you can even read that. Experiment in English Teaching and Ed Guidance by Ruby Kavich, 1926. So, I don't know what this is. I don't think that this goes to the... I don't think this goes to this book. We'll set that aside. So this book is really interesting. Oh my, there's a couple things in here that probably shouldn't be. Well, let's just see what this is. China to Me by Emily Hahn. Huh. Well, I guess I got some bonus. Some ephemera. And we have another China to Me. So that's interesting. Alright, so I'll just let me put this in here. I guess I didn't look too closely at this before I bought it. So this is Colorado State Teachers College. So it looks like this was used in colleges, but look at this. It's typewritten pages, and these are thin pages. These are awesome. Examination Cross English Test. Class number 12, number 925, examiner. So he was scores on Cross English Test for 925 pupils, 925 pupils in the 12th grade. Okay, so he was measuring grades. Wow, this is interesting. So I didn't really look at it too terribly closely. But I saw this paper and the graphs and I was like, yeah, I need that. So I think I'll probably have to look at this a little more closely before I start tearing into it. But this is really cool. This is my own copy, Ruby Kavich. Oh my goodness. Wow, is this signed by the author? That's cool. I'll have to look at that too. Okay. So this is dated 1926. It's just outside of our cutoff. I think it's 1923 right now. I'll have to look that up again. But yeah, the whole book is kind of just the same kind of stuff. It's real thin. It's kind of like almost tracing paper thin. I don't know if you can see my hand through that or not, but real thin paper with typed out by a typewriter. Somebody typed this out, and I'm not sure how they did the graph part, but really interesting. Might be reading this a little bit later today. So yeah, so that's what I ended up with from my little excursion down to that place. It's kind of, they go to, I think, estate sales, and they're pickers. So if you've ever watched American Pickers, they're kind of like that, only they buy more of the household goods. As you saw, there was lots and lots of housewares, kitchen, lots of furniture. I wish I could have shown you more. I only showed you 3/4 of the whole place. By the time I got over to the other side, there were too many people in there, and I was trying to be inconspicuous. The guy who was in charge and running it was kind of following me around a little closely at first when I got in there. I don't know if he trusted me. I don't know. They're in not such a great neighborhood either. It's kind of hit and miss in that neighborhood. So they're probably just used to having to follow people around and watching what they're doing. But anyway, I didn't take any offense to it whatsoever. If I was owning that place, I would do the same thing. He's never seen me before, and I'm sure they have a lot of regulars and stuff. But so anyway, so that was my little fun excursion today. I got some new goodies to add to my junk journals, and probably to add to, and I keep saying this, that I want to make some junk journal kits, and I still haven't done that because I've got at this point way more ephemera and book pages than I will ever be able to use. But I guess keep an eye out for that. I'll make an announcement on Instagram and YouTube and everything. And by the way, I totally forgot the last video I shot the other day. I finally got myself around to putting my videos into playlists. So there's a playlist for just about every type of video I've done. So if you're only interested in the haul videos, there's a playlist for those. If you're only interested in the craft with me videos, there's a playlist for that. The cigar box journal that I'm working on, I created a playlist for that. And so on and so forth. So, or if you're only interested in the ones that are up for sale on my Etsy or Project Shares, there's a Project Shares playlist. So if you're bopping around on my YouTube channel and you kind of were thinking about subscribing, please hit the subscribe button. I'd love to have you join. You know, I'm having a really good time sharing all of this with everyone, and there's a lot of fun conversations, and I'd like to have everyone join in. So anyway, it's enough plugging of myself, I guess. But hope you all have the rest of the weekend is really fun and safe. Have fun, safe, happy 4th of July celebrations. And like always, I will see you all again very soon. Bye.